The phone rang late in the evening, the ringtone slicing through my tired thoughts. I stared at it, unsure if I should answer. Every instinct told me to ignore it, yet I lifted the phone. "Is this Miss Adeline Harper?" A deep, calm voice asked. Something in it made me straighten. "I need to see you tomorrow. It's urgent." "Urgent," he said, as though my entire life depended on answering. I didn't know it then, but it did. The next morning, I stepped into a private lounge in the heart of the city. Glass walls showed the skyline, but my eyes were drawn to him, Adrian Renoma. He stood, expression unreadable, a tailored suit that screamed power. "Sit," he commanded softly. I obeyed. His hands rested on the table, folding and unfolding in a rhythm I couldn't predict. Silence stretched until he finally said, "You're here because I chose you." I felt chills. Chose me for what? He slid a folder toward me. "This is not a proposal. This is an arrangement." The word hit me like ice. I picked it up carefully, scanning the first page. 2 years. Full financial security. Publicly married. Privately, you remain yourself, he said. I glanced at him. "And if I refuse?" He shrugged. "Then you don't survive this decision in one piece." My stomach sank. This wasn't a romance. It was a deal. "Why me?" I asked quietly, trying to mask fear with curiosity. His eyes flickered, almost human for a second. "You're discreet. You're available. You won't complicate things." The words should have stung, but instead, they felt like truth. I stared at the skyline outside. My life had been a series of compromises, and now it seemed I had been offered the ultimate one. Survival over love. Security over freedom. Could I live like that? I signed. My hand trembled slightly, but I didn't stop. Every line I traced in the pen sealed my reality. I wasn't marrying for love. I was signing into a life designed for someone else's needs. Adrian leaned back, observing me. "You're compliant," he said. I wanted to snap at him, but I only nodded. Compliant, yes. But not ready. Not for this. Not for him. Not for what was coming. The mansion was massive, gleaming and cold. Every step echoed in halls that smelled of expensive wood and faint leather. I realized immediately, this would never feel like home. "Separate rooms," he said, already assuming I understood. I nodded. My bedroom was luxurious but empty. I lay down, listening to the hum of air conditioning, and wondered, could comfort feel so hollow? Curiosity drew me to the contract folder again. Page after page detailed every expectation, allowance, and restriction. And then I found it. Clause 7. Emotional attachment strictly prohibited. I laughed quietly, bitterly. Of course. Even my heart wasn't allowed here. My stomach tightened. A shiver ran down my spine. How could someone love on command, but forbid love itself? I heard a voice in the hallway. Low, tense. "She doesn't need to know the real reason," he said into the phone. My pulse quickened. What reason? And why was it hidden from me? The mansion suddenly felt smaller, yet heavier. I realized I had stepped into a world where secrets were the currency. The next morning, I watched him from the kitchen doorway as he sipped coffee without looking at me. Every movement calculated, precise. He was a man of rules, not affection. I wondered if any of this was accidental, or if I had already been trapped in a perfectly designed life. Fear and curiosity tangled inside me, making it impossible to think straight. "Breakfast," he said simply, pointing to the tray. I sat across him, the silence stretching, unbroken except for the clink of cutlery. I tried speaking. "What do you expect from me?" He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he studied me like I was a puzzle. Then, obedience, discretion, Nothing more. I swallowed hard. Nothing more. Was that all there would ever be? For the first time, he smirked. Just a twitch at the corner of his mouth. But it startled me. You have questions, he said. I didn't deny it. Always, I admitted. Questions are dangerous, he said. Especially when the answers could destroy you. The weight of his words settled around me like a storm cloud. I felt both thrilled and terrified. I wandered into the mansion library, shelves towering above me, books I didn't recognize, titles I couldn't pronounce. The room smelled of old pages and mystery. I sat down, pretending to read, but my mind replayed every word he had said. I was a pawn, yes. But in whose game exactly? The answer haunted me more than I wanted to admit. Later that evening, I caught him in the hall. He paused, as if noticing me for the first time. He didn't speak, just looked. And for a fleeting second, the sharp edges softened. I wondered if anyone else ever saw this side of him. Was this hint of warmth real, or just another calculated move? I didn't know, and the uncertainty made me restless. He handed me a list of rules. Not suggestions. Rules. Each one felt like a chain wrapped around my freedom. I memorized them. Didn't argue. Didn't cry. Survival meant compliance. And yet, deep inside, I wanted to tear the paper and run. But where would I go? I overheard him talking to someone late at night. His tone was soft, almost human, but clipped. She doesn't know everything yet. I pressed my ear to the door. Everything? I whispered to myself. The word felt heavy. Dangerous. Secrets. Lies. And my life, it seemed, was about to become their stage. My phone rang again. A private number. I hesitated, then answered. No one spoke. Just breathing. Then, be careful who you trust. Click. The line went dead. My heart raced. Was it a warning? A threat? Or the first taste of the storm I had stepped into? I didn't know, but I feared I would soon find out. Dinner with him was silent, tense. Every bite calculated. Every glance measured. I realized he was always observing, always calculating. I dared a question. Do you ever relax? He didn't answer immediately. Then, relaxation is a luxury. Survival is a necessity. I understood. Comfort had no place here. I sat by the window, looking at the city lights below. They shimmered like promises I couldn't reach. My thoughts wandered, dangerous and forbidden. Could I care for him? Could I even survive the temptation to do so? I felt the mansion's silence pressing on me, and somewhere inside a spark of rebellion ignited. I would find answers, somehow. The next morning, he handed me an envelope, plain, white, unmarked. Inside, a single note. Curiosity is dangerous. Some doors, once opened, cannot be closed. My pulse quickened. Was this a threat, advice, or a game? Either way, I had no choice. I was already inside. I closed the envelope, staring at the blank walls of my bedroom. The mansion, the contract, the man himself, it was all a puzzle. And I didn't have all the pieces yet. Outside, the city thrummed with life. Inside, I was trapped. Alone. And more aware than ever. This marriage wasn't about love. It was about survival. And the real danger was only beginning. End episode 1.